Good evening, everyone. Digital marketing is becoming increasingly popular among students due to high job demand. The world of social media and search engine is constantly evolving, and it is rare to establish methods to remain relevant. Welcome to ULTV Student Diaries. I'm Shafali Shrivastava, Marketing and Communication Manager at University. Digital marketing goes beyond SEO, AdWords, campaign, and social media. The purpose of this course is to enable you to implement these strategies and manage the day to day operations of marketing to promote awareness, increase customer engagement, and promote business growth. We are joined by Kanchan Tinaikar, currently studying an MSc in digital marketing at the University of Salford, to discuss this topic further. Hi, Kanchan, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good,
Thank
thank
you
you,
so much for
Shefali.
joining us here. And I believe your expertise in this will create a great impact on all the users who are going to watch it later, because you're currently working also and then you're pursuing your course over there, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Great. So before we dive in, how has been UK so far for you?
Well, my experience, first of all, hello everyone. I'm Kanchan Tinaikar. I'm pursuing my master's in digital marketing at the University of Salford for your reference. So, in case you're looking out for a very good university with a good campus and an amazing course, which has all the modules you're expecting for, then just go for this one because, yeah, it's one of the best universities over here in the UK for bachelor's and for master's as well. So coming back to your question. Well, after coming to the UK, I've learned so many things. Like it's like a multifaceted industry here when it comes to digital marketing. It's just not like one module or one branch of digital marketing that you'll be looking at. It's like a multifaceted umbrella, you would say. You're standing under the umbrella, just trying to figure out what you want to do because there are so many opportunities here. So for managing your yeah, so when I came to the UK for the first time, I just realized how much how difficult it is to manage studies, cooking, running errands with absolutely no help or a car, to be fair. Because here when you come to the UK you have to walk a lot, and I wasn't really prepared for that, to be fair, because we are so much used to just use our motorcycles, our mopeds or your bicycles in India. So it's much easier for all of us to be in India, and the travel is much more cheaper as compared to the UK, and the vehicles are also easily available. So it's, I mean, the travel is really very easy as compared to UK in India, to be fair. So when I came to the UK for the first time, that was the only challenge that I was facing. But that was a huge challenge because back in India, my whole family used to get involved in the cooking and cleaning and everything. But when I came here, it was I was just doing and managing everything by myself. So that is one thing that you have to be prepared for, because when you're coming here you can't be dependent on anyone else for doing your errands or running your errands for you. So be prepared for everything and anything, any challenge that comes your way. So be prepared for that. But over a period of time, my personal experience says that it all becomes really very easy, because when you
Get
figure out,
accommodated.
sorry.
You get accommodated to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've been living with five more people in my apartment, in my flat. So we share the living room and the kitchen. So one more challenge was that I'm not a meat eater, and yeah, so when they used to start cooking, I used to be like, okay, I have to go after a while. But once the cleaning is done, once the smoke is out of the room, I'll have to go and then start cooking, because I'm partly a vegetarian. So that could be a big challenge if you're not prepared to live with the British people, because their eating habits are totally different from all of us. So you have to be prepared to accept the fact that people here eat lamb, they eat pork, and they eat beef. So don't come with a prejudiced man's mindset when you come to the UK. Being Indians, we are more focused on following our traditional Indian food habits and our cultural habits. So it actually becomes a big challenge when you come here, because people here are more open and they have very different eating habits. So be prepared, come with the mindset, with an open mindset where you can easily fit in here. It was one of the challenges in the first few weeks, yes,
It's
because
a
all the people,
cultural shock. Yeah, it's like a cultural
I
shock that
won't say a
you.
shock
Mm.
because um how should I put this? I had read a lot of blogs, and being a blogger myself, I had actually done a lot of research before coming here to the UK, and I knew the habits. But when I came here, it wasn't a shock, but it was a little bit difficult for me to understand or to fit in just one flat. I mean, had it been like a different flat, it wouldn't have been an issue. But living with people who are meat eaters could be a bit of a challenge, who are completely vegetarians. So just come with that. But it could be a cultural shock for a lot of Indians, because I've seen a lot of my friends struggling with the same because they're pure vegetarians. So yeah, that is one challenge.
Yeah, so
Handling,
you
yeah,
mentioned it very rightly that you have to come open mind. And to be
yeah,
honest, if you are going outside of your comfort zone, outside of a country, outside, far away from your beloved family and everyone, then you're going there for a reason, and you need to
yeah,
be open about it. You need to
yeah,
be sure that you'll meet different kind of people. There will be different culture, ethnicity, and that's how the whole experience globalizations comes into picture. You
exactly.
get to live that. Otherwise, it's just a term over here in a booklet. Correct?
Actually, the
Right.
English pronunciations are also very different here.
Yeah.
I mean,
In
as
UK,
compared to the,
yes.
yes, in the UK, I mean, the British accent is very different from what we imagine it to be while we're watching the British series or anything. The real accent, when you start talking with the people here, you will actually understand what I'm talking about. But I will leave it up to you, because it has to be a surprise element, because I enjoyed it a lot. I love languages. I love studying cultures and different traditions and different countries and languages. So it was a different experience altogether for me, and it was very fascinating as well. But if you feel like, if you think that it's a challenge, I would say focus more on YouTube videos which have the guidelines for how to understand the British accent, because it's a little difficult if you go for a part-time job here, and if you have to be in communication terms with a lot of British people on regular basis, then you have to understand what they're saying. So yeah, so just prepare yourself. It's not at all difficult, to be fair. If you're from an English medium, I'm not saying that you if you're from a Marathi medium or a regional language medium, it's going to be more difficult for you. No, it's on how you take it. So if you go to a different country, everything is going to be different. So just prepare yourself. There are many YouTube videos, or you can just connect with a lot of alumni. And if you want to connect with a lot of people who are already living there in the UK or US, whom you know, like your family, friends, or your relatives, then try to get in touch with them to understand how different the culture and the language is from India. So it's on you, but I'll leave it up to you, because I want it to be a surprise element for all of you.
Right. So experience matters from person to person.
Yeah,
It's how somebody perceives to it, and I believe it's and everybody in whole world, everybody sometimes makes fun of it, of the British accent, the water and water, and they embrace it. So they also know the challenge exists. Everybody's aware about this challenge. It's just that how you're embracing it, how you take it. You take it as in like, oh, I don't know, or you take it like, oh, that's their way. This is my way to talk. And I have what I have heard so far from people that British people are really accommodating. They understand
very,
you and they are very helpful in nature also.
very much
Right.
so. They'll
Right.
not leave you alone. They'll not leave your hand, because I've been living with five British people. And just imagine, I'm the only Indian in my flat. And first few weeks were really very, I won't say intimidating, but a little challenging, because the language was really different. The accent was really very different. And we tend to follow a lot of American Netflix series, and, get influenced by their slang or their accents. So it's pretty much more accommodative. But when you come here,
So
it's not water. So the
yeah.
T is going to be silent. So you have to, like, okay, give one more thought, and, like, okay, what did you just say? It's all right if you don't understand. We are from a different country. Though I'm not from a convent medium school. I'm from an English medium school. So again, it will be easier for a convent medium person to understand the language. But it depends. It depends on how
It
you
varies
take it.
from person to person, I'll say. Yeah. If
Absolutely,
somebody who's
absolutely.
watching maybe a Korean series, they can understand a Korean language in a better
Exactly.
manner. Whereas somebody
Yeah.
watching a Netflix American show, they'll understand American. And of course,
Yeah.
if you're watching British, then go ahead. You will definitely able to understand what they are speaking in
Yeah.
their undertone. Correct. So it's all about pronunciation, and you don't need to be intimidated about it. It's just that it's fine. You are there
Yeah,
for
it's
the experience,
totally
and
fine.
trust me, slowly and gradually you will start talking like that only. That's what happens after a certain period of time. You don't
But don't
realize.
imitate. Don't
Yeah,
leave your egos
don't.
behind.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
You should have your personal touch to whatever you say. It's like,
You develop
now
your own
I'm talking to
accent.
you. So I'm not going to say whatever. I'll say whatever. Whatever feels comfortable for you, as long as the other person is understanding what you're saying, it's
Be
perfectly fine.
yourself, right? Just
Yeah.
be
So just be
yourself.
yourself. You don't need to just try to change yourself, crumple yourself like a piece of paper just to try and fit in. So just be yourself. And they are very accommodative. They'll accommodate you and they'll understand your eating habits. Because my folks have been really very, very understanding. They don't cook beef in the room where I am cooking something. So they'll wait for me to finish and go back to my room and then they'll start cooking. So that's how accommodative they are.
That's
So
really sweet of them. That's really understanding that they
yeah,
clean even
they
also the
are
kitchen
wonderful people.
post they do the part. Most of the time, it's they. In fact, if we talk about us also, we clean when we cook. We are like, okay, we'll clean it later. Like, which should not be the
Exactly.
case when you're sharing an apartment, everything.
Yeah.
So far, your journey has been nice, I'll say.
Yes, 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 for sure. My personal experience has been really very nice, for sure.
Great, great. So there are multiple English tests, proficiency tests that one needs to take while they are
Mm.
traveling abroad, while they're planning abroad. Now, with you in picture, with work also into picture, you I believe you went over there with work study visa kind
Yeah.
of thing, right? Yeah. So did you also took any such test? And if yes, how did it help you out with your university?
Okay, so I'll talk about my experience and my university, which could be totally different for other people because they'll be opting for different courses and different universities as well. But for me, on the basis of my marks that I scored in the 12th grade, so it was more than a distinction. So I got a waiver for the English proficiency at my university. So the University of Salford just asked me for my 12th grade marks, and I fortunately and honestly do not have to go through the whole IELTS process, but I was looking forward to it because I have worked on it, to be fair. So when I did during the pandemic, I really wanted to enhance my speaking skills or my English language skills. So I started taking the uh, or watching the YouTube videos about the IELTS exam. So this is a competitive exam which will help you enhance your English language skills. So it's advisable to go for it. But in case you get a waiver, you're very lucky because it has like four modules again. So one is reading, writing, speaking, and listening. So these modules have to be cleared with a band of around 6.5 for almost all the universities. Less than that would not get you in a good university. So the primary exam you'll have to take is the IELTS for sure to be in the UK. Most of the universities require a score of 6.5 out of 9. That is one more point. However, scoring more than that would land you in better opportunities. That's for sure. So if you score like an 8 out of 9, then it will be like the highest score. So just try to work hard on your IELTS because that is one exam that is going to land you in better opportunities for sure. Under the secure English language testing arrangements, the list of approved language test has been assessed at as meeting home office requirements. Only those tests and test levels specified are approved. So you have to go to the uk.gov website where you will get to know the updated exams that are required, because that is one point that you have to be focused on. It's not just a university, but you'll have to check the government site as well. So in case there are any changes or there are any updates, you will get to know there. It is required that you take one of the tests on the list if you intend to use one of them for your immigration or nationality application. So the visa process is not really complicated if you are going through any agent
Yes.
or if you're seeking help of some professional, if you're seeking any professional help, because they will help you with every step of your visa process. So if the IELTS is required or if any language proficiency test is required, then they'll let you know how you should book, which is the right bracket of time that you should go for. If you want to go for the September, I'm from the September intake, so I was asked to take my exam in around July 2022, June to July. So it's better if you plan for your IELTS beforehand and then start with your visa process, because that will be very easy for you. And
Right.
fortunately, after I submitted my marks, they were like, okay, you don't have to go for the English proficiency test, but they took a short interview. It was an online interview that the University of Salford arranged. So I cleared that, so that was considered as the English proficiency test for me. So I'm not saying that it is applicable for all other universities or all other courses that you're looking for. So just keep an eye on the university guidelines and the the UK guidelines and the government guidelines and the university guidelines as well for the English level proficiency tests.
Great.
So yeah,
Great.
we should always be updated when it comes to these tests, because every person again will have a very different experience from the other people. So you have to understand what your requirements are, what your prerequisites are. It's just not like a generalized statement or a generalized rule for everyone. So you have to understand your prerequisites and what how far you want to go. So when it comes to languages, it's good to take a test because you're coming to a country which is like the core language, the main language spoken here is English. So
Right.
you have to be good at it. Though you're not proficient, it's all right. You just have to be good. You should understand how the English language is to be used here. So just
Of
go
course,
for
then
it.
only you'll be able to work, or you'll be
Absolutely,
able to
absolutely.
understand the knowledge that is being departed from the profession.
Yes,
So yeah,
yes.
right, right. Moving forward, so how did you chalked out your study abroad journey, and did you consider any funding options, or is it something which is taken care by the company itself?
No, the company did not help me with any finances, but I have come here on a sabbatical. So I'm still a part of Tata Consultancy Services. And when I tried to resign, they were like, if you have completed more than 5 years, and if anybody from TCS wants to consider going for abroad education, then I would say that seek help from the HR, because they are very understanding and they will help you with the sabbatical process as well. So don't just be in a hurry to resign or just give up on your job, because after the pandemic it has been really very difficult for all of us to get jobs. So be wise enough when you choose this option, because coming on a sabbatical leave, it has its pros and cons. So after completion of my course, or maybe before that, I'll have to get in touch with TCS again for my placement, because there are many options here as well in the UK. So you have to be very precise, and you have to understand the pros and cons of each step that you're taking when it comes to immigration. So talking about University of Salford, like I mentioned, I got no, I did not mention as yet. So I got a scholarship, and I think international students, most of them, depending on their educational background, depending on the overall profile, like the educational background, the work experience, or the choice of course, and many other factors, you will get a scholarship from the university. So if you're trying to if you're planning to be a part of the University of Salford, the website has given you all the information. All the information is right there on their website. They'll help you with the bursaries and the internships as well. You just have to be in touch with them. You have to send emails, you have to call them, or you have to just visit their website to understand how the scholarships and bursaries work. So keep an eye on their website, and also if you're taking help of any agents, let them do the process. Don't indulge in the process yourself, because the agents will surely help you. I took a help of an agent, of course. So that agency was really amazing. If you want to know, I'll tell their name as well. So yeah, they helped me with the process, so it was very smooth for me. And I didn't want to take it like independently, because the visa process, as we all know, is very, it's not complicated, but it's something that is very new for
Tedious.
all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
personally, it was very new for me, because this was my first time that I was planning for such a visa, like a student visa. So obviously, it was very new. So I did not want to go wrong anywhere, and I didn't want to leave any loopholes behind. So I took help of an agency. So yeah, if you want to go abroad, and the way I chalked out my journey was, like I said, TCS has been very kind. So coming on a sabbatical was a plus for me, because I still know that I have a job. So if you're, yeah, and I'm
yeah,
switching careers, so I'm kind of, I was in a dilemma, of course. When I started the process, I was in a dilemma, and it was like a very keywords, like a gutsy move on
Hmm.
my part to switch careers after such a huge experience in wide what to say wide domains, because I have worked in different and multiple domains with TCS. So you have to understand that if you're going on sabbaticals, that could be one of the best decisions for you, because you'll already have a job. You won't be like jobless while you're studying, so you can just rely on your company. So if you're working with a company, get in touch with the HR for the sabbatical process, and then start working on your visa process. But if you already started working on the visa process, then you will have to provide all the documents to your company, so that they know that you're applying for the sabbatical for a genuine reason.
Great, right, makes sense. So you mentioned that you got a scholarship from University of Salford. So how did
Yeah.
you get for this scholarship? Was the agent only helpful over here, or how did it happen? And apart from this, did you also took any kind of education loans?
No, I did not take any loan,
Mhm.
because I decided to use my savings, of course. That was a personal choice again. But as I got a good scholarship, it was easier for me to fund myself. And my parents also helped me with the process. So that was not an issue. But if you're going for a loan, then there are banks that are what to say, how do you call it? Like the agency will help you with the bank funding as well. So I did get in touch with, or I did connect with my agent for helping me with the process of the scholarship. But when I received the scholarship, it was much more easier for me to fund myself. So I knew that I had like few savings that would be helpful for me to go ahead with the process. So I did not take any loan, but the loan process is a little tedious. But if you want to go for the loan process, then go for it, I would say, because one of my friends has taken a loan, and she is like working fine, to be fair. So you don't have to worry about that. Just seek professional help before going for any step when it comes to the loan process, because you're putting in a lot of money here. Trust me, because any good university will ask you for a fees more than INR 15 lakhs. 15 lakhs is the it what to say. mm,
Basics.
yeah, it's like medium level, I would say, intermediate level. So just try to keep I mean just try to be abreast with your financial conditions. Don't stress out. Or if you want to really go for the loan process, then just seek help from the professionals or the agencies, like I mentioned, because they help you and they know about the current scenario. Okay, the interest rates and everything, they'll get in touch with the bank, they'll help you get in touch with the bank authorities as well. So it's always good to go by the legal route, and the better route, that is the better route, I would say. Yeah.
Right, right. Very well said, of course. And in fact, it's sometimes it's said, no, it's better to be left to the professionals who are doing this thing
Yeah.
for a longer period of time,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you, of course, you should definitely research. We are not undermining that you should not research. Do your research, do your homework really well. You should know what is happening, what needs to
Yeah.
do, what needs to be done. But yeah, you can leave the documentation part and few parts in the hand of the expertise. So it
Yeah.
should help you in much more better way. Correct. Correct. Now you mentioned that you were changing your career.
Yeah.
So what was your previous career, and how does that affect your current course also?
Mm, to be fair, there are no prerequisites for this course. Digital marketing is a very inclusive course, I would say, because digital marketing or marketing is required for every day-to-day course. I want to sell something, I need marketing. I want to buy something, I need marketing. So marketing is everywhere. So when okay, so I'll start with my experience with TCS. So I was a pharmacist back in India. So I graduated as a pharmacist. So my basic education is in pharmaceutical science, which has nothing to do with marketing. But post pandemic, when pharma made, or there were many other online medical services which were provided, I understood that blending the pharma career with digital marketing would be an amazing decision. So I connected with a lot of pharmaceutical marketing managers on LinkedIn, and got to know that this particular industry is in boom at the moment. So if you're already a healthcare professional, or if you want to switch careers, then digital marketing is, I think, the easiest way to change careers, because it is very inclusive. Be it any field, like if you're a doctor, you will need marketing to run your clinic. So marketing is like everywhere. So when I took the decision of switching my careers to marketing, from being a pharmacovigilance officer, then after that a training specialist, then as a talent development lead, it was like a vast assorted platter, I would say. So I have worked in so many domains that I have managerial experience as well, creative experience as well. So it all worked in my favor. So yeah, if you have any type of experience, that counts, because you don't have to have like, so if you go for any technical field like computer engineering, then of course you will need a bachelor's in the specific field. Like being a pharmaceutical like a pharmaceutical student, like a pharmaceutical background student, I won't be able to switch my careers to computer science so easily. It'll be very tough for me, because I won't have that technical knowledge that is required. I won't have the what to say, the aptitude for that, or whatever prerequisites are required for that. But digital marketing is completely different, because I've already started working on my modules, so I can confidently say that the modules that I have chosen for my course are very inclusive. So far I have completed digital marketing, communications, and social media and SEO, that is search engine optimization. So these two models have been very easy, to be fair. But now it is going to be digital marketing analytics and strategic management. So this module is something that is a little intimidating, because it might have some statistics involved which I haven't worked on a lot, being a pharmacist. So there are new things to learn. You will learn a lot here, because it is all very different from what it is back in India. So if
Yeah,
you ask me,
I
the
was
yeah,
about to
what's
come
the
on this question, that how does this course context change, varies from India. I'm pretty sure you must have thought to give it a try in India also. But why, what made you choose like international or UK, if I say about? So is there any difference that you realized compared to
yes,
India?
yes. The scope here in the UK is much more, as the jobs are very well paid. So if you compare, like, you can still go on indeed.com, .in and .uk, and just choose one profile, like a digital marketing manager or a social media manager, and just check the vast difference between the salaries. So that is one point. Of course, everyone here, if you're coming here, you're investing a lot of money, so you have to get it back anyhow. So you're always going to look out for better job opportunities. No one is going to like volunteer for the rest of his life unless you have a very rich family. So if you're funding for yourself, like I have my savings at stake at the moment, so I have to get everything back before I decide to go back or live here for the rest of my life. But I know that I have to get into a good company, or if I get back to TCS, then of course I have to have that um, bracket of salary that I want from them. So I have to speak in I have to consider all those facets as well, or aspects as well. So I would say I'm currently switching careers, so I'll be considered as a fresher in digital marketing anywhere I go, because my experience is totally different, like I have mentioned. So the prerequisites, if you ask me, is the SOP, statement of purpose. So SOP writing is a crucial step. So if you ask me what is different when it comes to digital marketing in India and UK, and if you're planning to switch careers, or go abroad for studies in any field, the SOP is going to be the biggest and the most crucial step for the visa process, because statement of purpose will actually give an idea of what you really want to do here in the UK. So because you're investing so much, you're actually taking a seat here in the UK, so you have to have that strong statement of purpose. You have to have that purpose of coming here. So I found my niche at a very late stage in my life. But I always believe in one saying, that it's never too late. So any which ways I wanted to switch my career, so I decided to come here anyway, and my family has been very supportive. So if you have a family who is very supportive, that's the biggest what to say, win-win situation for me.
Yeah, that's a
So
bliss.
yeah, they are very supportive. So always try to convince and be on the same platform with your parents, because being students, you're not being students, being their children, of course you're answerable to them on any step of your life, on every step of your life. So just take them in confidence, just make them your confidence, and then understand how they are looking at your life as well, because their perspective is going to change a lot of things before coming here. So just try to speak with them, just try to
Right.
get their guidance as well, because we are their children. So of course their take on what and how we are handling our life is also
Right.
very important.
I
So
think
yeah,
it's more around that you should consider all the pillars of your life before taking any call
absolutely,
that you take forward. Right.
absolutely.
Right. So very well mentioned. You need to articulate all the factors that affect your family, your life, whether you're new
Yeah.
or any other place, because these factors gives you strength, or these can be the factors that can become your weakness when you're away from family.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
moving forward with this, you already have mentioned that why you chose Salford over the institution, but still, if you want to share some more bullet points around it, so what factors set University of Salford apart from other UK universities with respect to this course?
Okay, great question actually, because this was something that I worked on for most of my time when I was working on choosing my course and my university in the UK. So the MSc Digital Marketing program here in the University of Salford, at the University of Salford, is very much industry focused and culminates in a work experience component. So this will be considered as a work experience. It will not be just a master's, but this will be actually like a project that you're working on. So that is going to be counted as an experience. So don't forget that it is like a huge credit in your life. So just go for it, I would say. So this was one of the biggest reasons why I chose University of Salford. And yeah, the modules as well, the modules that I was looking for while choosing my course, I had almost, I mean, the University of Salford course has covered almost every module. So the modules here are digital marketing strategy, then online and offline consumer behavior, digital marketing communications, and social media and SEO. So pretty much everything is covered that actually digital marketing domain demands. So if you want to choose, or if you want to be a content creator, then social media marketing and SEO will help you do that. Being a blogger, in the past, I know how SEO works, how the SEO techniques are to be applied for being a blogger or for being a content creator here. And it's pretty much the same everywhere, but the scope here is very much vast. So if you have those abilities, if you have that passion to be a content creator, then you can just work on more LinkedIn learnings as well, because just working on your coursework is not going to take you anywhere. You have to understand the little loopholes, and you have to cling on to them to understand why it is important. Just knowing that, okay, I know SEO or how it functions, or just knowing how social media marketing works is not sufficient here. That's not going to suffice. You have to take few more certifications or small courses on LinkedIn learning or Udemy or digital garage, yeah, digital marketing garage, or there's some Google courses as well.
Google
So
courses.
just go for extra courses as well. But this course particularly covered all the modules. The scholarships provided are really good at University of Salford if you're an international student. So you can consider all these aspects and make a choice.
Definitely, definitely. And of course, just in case, like in your case, you were not aware about this particular field earlier, like you wanted to switch your career. So that's why you were required all the modules. And it
Yes,
does create a lot of difference, because the teaching patterns and the practical knowledge is varying in India or other
yeah,
places from UK or any other country, if I talk about, or to be honest, university to university, it varies. Now,
yeah.
if you have taken any certification course, that's okay. Just in case if you have already done bachelor's into marketing and all that, then your basics are clear. Then I'm pretty sure the university will be happy to accommodate you with respect to the
Yes.
English exams and everything required. So yeah. Right. Now, there are multiple, clubs at all these universities,
Mm-hmm.
and which helps on creating very great activities also, and helps with your career opportunities alongside. So, if you can just outline some of such clubs at the University of Salford, which
Yeah,
are maybe good for a kickstart career, opportunity, or for a fun activity also.
that's a very interesting question. I'm a very social person. I'm like a social animal. I love partying. I love meeting new people. I love socializing like anything. And and extrovert. So this was the best university I think I chose, because the student union here, or the atmosphere club, or the Indian committee, are few groups that I have been a part of since I've come here. So I've made a lot of friends here. I mean, it within a span of 4 months, I can say that confidently, I can say that I have made really good friends here, because when it comes to socializing, you have to be open minded. You can't hold on to something that you want to be a part of and try to fit in, because I'm not able to frame it in the right way, but if you are traditionally attached to a particular culture, and if you don't try to open up with the people here, then they're not going to accommodate, because they don't need to, socialize with you. You want to be a part of their culture and their country, so you have to take an extra mile, like an extra
Right.
step.
Right.
So be open minded. And the student union, atmosphere club, and the Indian committee are the three groups that will help you literally enjoy everything, like the British culture, the Indian culture, the Asian culture. Because when I came here during the induction period, during the induction weeks, like 2 weeks, they gave away free food here. So the university house was filled with food, so I did not have to cook, and that was one of the best experiences, because the induction time is the time where you can literally enjoy. When there were so many events, there were so many games here. Those were around arranged by the university house and the student union as well. So there are people who are trying to help you get accommodated. But if you're trying to just hold back and not being open minded, then it will be very difficult. But if you want to get into the flow of it, just go for it, because just let loose, I would say. Don't be like very rigid when you come here, because being liberal and being free is something that is going to get you connected with a lot of people with different perspectives. You can't just hold on to one perspective, and these extracurricular activities will actually help you understand which people are interested in the activities you are interested in. So like-minded people, you have the best possibility and probability to meet people who share the same interest there. So that is one big achievement after coming here, because you're all on your own. So it's good that you meet more people here.
Right, because these clubs are oriented based on your interest, and if you have
Yes.
interest into that particular club, the other person has the similar interest, so there is a lot of common points to talk, and then friendship can be cherished over it. So
Yes,
definitely, it does make
absolutely.
sense. It does. Now, I would like to understand. You have already answered pretty little bit about this particular question earlier when we started the session. That what was your expectation before you started this journey as an international student, and have your expectation met the reality? Did you find any change into that expectation, or is it the same how you expected it to be?
Well, actually, yes. I'm actually currently enjoying every bit of my experience here. It's been around 5 months since I've come here, and I've explored the place, met new people, I've socialized a lot, made professional contacts as well on LinkedIn. So yeah, it's like not really related to this question, but I would say start working on your LinkedIn profile beforehand. So that is going to help you a lot in making professional connects. Yeah. So coming back to the question, I actually really love it here. I love the winters here. I mean, the temperature might fall to, it actually fell to -8 degrees here in the past two, yeah, I think in December, yeah. In the second week of December, it was around -8 degrees here. That literally hurt, but I loved it. I loved it. I am like a winter lover, so yes, it is the weather here is really suitable for me. So the expectations were actually met, I would say, in every aspect, because I love learning new things. Like I mentioned before, I love learning cultures, I love learning languages. I'm like a social animal, so it was really easy for me to fit in here. The culture and the language is peculiarly different, like I've mentioned. But if you're social, if you're open, it is easy for you to be a part of the communities as well. So if you go out and learn the British culture and try to meet more British people, then you will understand their perspective on life as well overall. So if you meet more British students here, you will understand their approach. Like I when I got my first assignment, I I'm the only one who is pursuing masters. All the others are pursuing their bachelors here. They're pretty young and they're not switching careers. It's like their main path of careers. So they are pursuing the bachelors and they're almost teenagers. So I'm much older. So I tried to get in touch with them and tried to discuss how it works for them. So their perspective was so different than mine, because being Indians, we are more into marks, right? So over here it's not that case, not that aspect that is counted on. Of course your grades and your marks will be counted when it comes to checking your graph when you apply for jobs. But at the moment, if you're working on an assignment, just try to build your skills. That is more important. So when it comes to digital marketing, just clearing the modules with good grades is not going to count in the future. So try to so that is one thing that I learned over a period of time. Because of course, in Asia, of course, in Asian countries, we are more bound to concentrate more on our grades. So we think that, okay, if we score 90 plus, then we are the best students. Over here it's not like that. If you score, even if you score 50% or 60%, they'll help you get, raise your grade, or they'll help you work on better grades. But grades won't be an issue here. Just don't fail, of course. Failure won't take you anywhere, but if you fail, then also they will help you to succeed in the future. So don't worry about the grades here. So this is something that was very different. Of course, the aspect and the perspective of working on your coursework is totally different. So that was one expectation that made me really very happy, because our mindset has to change. And one more expectation or experience I would like to share: stop converting the pounds or the GBP to INR when you make your purchases. That's
Right.
the worst thing. That is going to depress you to hell. Don't do
You're
it.
gonna, yeah, you're gonna sad your life so much. Trust me. Sometimes back I was recording with somebody else, and we discussed the same thing, that just don't convert. Once you start converting, you'll realize, oh my God, why I'm paying so much, which is which is not the case over there, because over there the currency is completely different. Just don't convert.
Totally different. Oh my God. And in the first 2 weeks, I used to do the same, but it started making me feel like it started upsetting me. And I used to feel like, okay, am I spending a lot? Am I spending a lot? And I used to ask this question almost on every purchase I made. So that was making me feel very anxious. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to bother myself with the money and all. So I just gave up on conversion, and then my life became very easier and merrier, to be fair. So don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah,
It's
so
just going to
this
depress
is
you.
the main mantra and gyan that everyone is getting. Just don't
Yes,
convert. Like, this is the
don't
second time
convert.
throughout the day that I'm discussing this part. Just don't convert them, guys. Please don't do that. Don't be rude to yourself.
Yeah, don't hurt yourself so much.
Right,
You're
right.
more, yeah, you're worth better than that. Please don't do that.
Right. And I didn't realize that we're almost near our time, I really enjoyed the
Oh,
conversation, but there's still a couple of questions that I want to discuss with you. And
yeah,
I
we'll
think,
we'll keep it short then. We'll keep it
no,
this
no, no,
hour.
that's okay. We can definitely, I'm really enjoying the conversation. I'm pretty sure the users will do so. So, yeah. So now moving forward, you have mentioned multiple times that you have amazing roommates. So that's a blessing, I'll
Yeah.
say. Not sometimes many people don't get blessed like that. So that's a
Mhm.
blessing that you have amazing roommates. But you are living in a student apartment, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how does this PBSA is varying from a normal apartment, and what amenities does PBSA provide? Why did you choose a student apartment over a normal apartment?
The most simple answer for this one would be, being a student, it is easier for you to be with us with another student, because the problems and the solutions that you will be seeking, or not you won't seek the problems, of course you will seek for the solutions for the problems, but those would be primarily the same. If you compare like a young professional and a student, he would have a different perspective or a different approach towards handling a problem. But if you discuss the same with a student, then you might share and you might be able to find out better solutions as a student. So it's always good to live with students when you are a student yourself. So there are few more aspects to it, like why I chose the student accommodation. First of all, when I started looking, I started searching for my accommodation pretty much beforehand. Like I started doing it in April, and I got everything booked before May. and I started my course in September. So it's always good. I would say, I would recommend you to book your accommodation, to book your flight tickets way beforehand, because everything gets very, very, very expensive. Because a lot of people after coming here, I mean, I was literally startled. I mean, some people had not booked accommodation. They just come here to the UK without booking any accommodation. They had to shell out so much more money on Airbnbs and hotels and so many other accommodations. So don't do that. I'm not saying it's foolish, but it's going to make you shell out a lot of money unnecessarily. So do it beforehand. So about sharing my space with other students, yes. So why I chose a student accommodation is it's easier to make friends. I mean, to befriend people. Yeah, it's easier to befriend people. It's easier to make connections, because if you're sharing your space with other students, then you understand their way or their approach of working around the studies or the courses, or if there is any challenge at the university, you can work onto it together. But if you're sharing, like if you're a student and you're sharing an apartment with a professional, he won't be able to understand your perspective. All right. So the peace of mind is also very important. So that is one big thing that I confidently can say that I have right at the moment. I'm very peaceful at the moment. So I'm at peace. I mean, not peaceful. I'm at peace at the moment with the people that I'm sharing the accommodation with. So another point is safety and security. There are like safety gates outside our accommodation. So without the student ID, sorry, without the accommodation ID, no one is allowed inside. So there will be a constant watch on who enters the student accommodation. So the safety and security also matters a lot when you're an expat and you're coming to a very different country, because that's a major aspect that you need to look after. Then the rent payment is also very much easy, because you are given like a span of around 4 months, so you can pay it in installments. So that is much more easier. And the people who are associated with the student accommodation will help you with all the rentals and everything, and the bills are all included in the rent. So that is one big thing. So I actually have many friends from TCS also working here, and they're not students, of course, they're working for TCS. So I got in touch with them, and what I got to know from them was that the bills are not included. So there is extra money involved here. So when it comes to student accommodation, at least from my experience, what I would say is the bills are included here.
Yeah.
If
So
you,
true.
yeah,
In mostly accommodation bills are included.
yeah,
Student accommodation, yeah, PBSs.
yeah.
Right.
So there are guaranteed rooms as well.
Mhm.
And the repairs and the guidance is also very easy. So I'm living at the IQ student accommodation. So they have an application where in case there is something that's not working well in my apartment, I can just lodge in a complaint and they'll get it fixed within 24 hours. So it's pretty quick. So when it comes to a different type of accommodation, or if you're living in a house sharing a space, when it's not not a student accommodation, then you have to take care of everything on your own. So here they have specific like they have a specific team or special team that is assigned to get this all repair things and everything done for you. So that is one more aspect to it. That is one more asset. Yeah. And
Right. So
they
as a
also
student,
arrange for a lot of events and activities as well here,
social
which are
gatherings.
good for students. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So already as a student, you already have 100 things on your plate. And if you add one more thing like a maintenance and you keep on going on,
Yeah.
so that's definitely going to give a little stress. And which the point that you mentioned that you feel peace at home, which is very important. So once you come back home,
Yeah.
the place should feel like home. It should be like,
Yeah.
it should not be dim and dead, or it should not be like that you have to come back. Oh, now I have to do this. I have to call this plumber,
Yeah.
do maintenance. That should not be the case. So yeah. Yeah, definitely it does create a lot of difference. So I'm second, I think I second your point that you should book in the student accommodation, especially in initial time, so that you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about the other things. And when you get this facility, I'm pretty sure this PBS is not actually applicable to anyone. Not a working professional can get into such apartments.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the
No,
properties are also very nice.
it's just for students. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
the
for students.
properties are also very beautiful. The property itself
Absolutely.
is very beautiful, whereas
Yes.
apartments are not so pretty. In the same cost, I'll say they're in the same cost. So yeah, right, right. Now the last part and the favorite question of mine is that how are you managing cost of living in Salford, and do you have any hacks for the student who are planning to move abroad over there?
Yes, it depends on the shops that you choose. So I mostly shop from Aldi. Aldi is something that is very affordable. So Aldi and Tesco, if you want to buy something in bulk, then you can go for Tesco. It is a very good chain, like just like Walmart in the US. So affordable. Um, I think they have an app as well. I've never tried the online shopping with Tesco, but I think they have an online app as well. So just you have to have your requirements in place, like pricing of grocery, accommodation, and sorry, it all depends on how and where you want to shop and what you want to shop for. So if you're a meat eater, then Tesco has a lot of frozen meat um, options. So that won't be the same at Aldi, because it all depends again. It's on how and what you want to purchase and where. So if you want to go for normal groceries, then you can go for Aldi because it is the cheapest shop here in my vicinity. And if you go to Manchester city center, then it is a little expensive there. So I'm living in Salford at the moment, and the city center is around half an hour from here. No, no, not half an hour, 20 minutes from here. But then again, you will have to take like a bus pass, which will cost you around £5. If you take like a day pass, it will cost you around £5. And if you want to go for a shop in the Manchester city center, then again you'll have to spend almost £10 more as compared to what you're shopping for here in Salford. So Salford is much cheaper as compared to the shops in Manchester city center. So
Other
uh,
cities, I'll say.
yeah, so just try to explore the place when you come here. Don't rush into like, okay, I want to find the cheapest option on day one. That's not going to be the case. You will understand what and where you will try to, what you will get where. So like you have to understand that these things are really like Home Bargains is an amazing place where you get to, Poundland is also there. So if you want to get something that is like gift items, or if you want to get something for your house, if you want to decorate your house, then Poundland is the best place, because you just get things at around £1, £2, and you can just decorate your place the way you want, easily and in the most affordable way. So these are few shops if you want to go for like the cheapest ones here. And if you want to go, like if you are not worried about shelling out extra money, if you can shell out, because I was never into walking, to be fair. Due to few health issues, I was recommended not to walk a lot or run or sprint a lot. So I decided to go for the bus option. So it's always better if you really don't want to, because I work out as well, so it's an extra, excessive workout for me.
Right.
So I don't walk a lot, I prefer getting on the bus. So if you want to spend like £5 on every journey, if you're ready to shell out that much money, then it's all right. But if you really want to, if you enjoy walking, or if you really want to go with your friend and take a small walk to Aldi, then it's really in the vicinity only. So there is an Indian store as well near the IQ student accommodation that I recently explored. And I was like, okay, fine. It was just right next to my house, but I did not know it. So don't do that. Just try to explore your place wherever
Your
you're staying.
neighborhood first.
Yeah, just try to explore your neighborhood first, and then go for the other areas in your vicinity. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. Does make sense. Thank you so much, Kanchan, for sharing so much of, insightful information with our viewers. Now, before I wrap up, any 2 cents of advice for the students?
Okay. Mm. One experience and of a friend, about a friend, I would say. Mm. If you are a person who quickly becomes homesick, then this decision is going to affect you a lot emotionally. It's not always about being professionally abreast, or if you really want to be, yeah, if you really want to explore and explore better options in your career and all. But if you really are a family person, then this decision might affect you emotionally a lot, because a friend literally faced a lot of challenges here. And I know she's a North Indian. I won't give you all the details, but yeah, she used to feel depressed a lot here. So we tried to get in touch with her. And like I said, I'm not a person who really feels very homesick, but there are people in my friend circle who actually felt the same. So that is something that affected them a lot emotionally. So just try to be strong enough mentally, emotionally, physically as well, because it's very demanding here. But once you get set here, once you get settled here, once you build your approach of living away from your family, it becomes very easy. But the first few weeks you might feel that you're feeling homesick, but try to get over that feeling. Try to watch fun movies, going out with new people, try socializing. So just open up yourself, just be open minded and just go for it. Don't worry, things are going to be difficult at the start. I'm not going to give you any false hopes or any false experiences of mine, but it's just that things will get easier. Don't be harsh on yourself, don't be hard on yourself, just go for it, and you're going to enjoy the journey. That's all I
True.
have to say.
True. So, as Kanchan mentioned, it might be hard in the start, just like any hiking or trekking, if you guys are into. So it might be difficult in the start. You will be like, oh, this is not gonna happen. I won't be able to complete it. But slowly and gradually, when you be consistent, you be persistent, you will see that the journey is beautiful and the destination
Yes.
is the best that you planned for. On this note, we'll be closing our session. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you find it useful. Looking forward to seeing you guys next Friday at 5 p.m. Stay tuned to our social media handle for more information. Thank you, Kanchan, so much for joining us.